Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I do these videos just to educate women more on whole food nutrition, how you can match it to your own body physiology to get and keep a better result. Yes, I'm the author of the book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon right now. You can pick this up, and in less than a week, we are 6 days out, people, from the release of the Female Menopause Solution. Details on how to exactly eat for your menopausal body. I also have the 12-week challenge. This is all about the meal guide that matches with your hormones. So it's literally just you follow along, and then I work with you one-on-one to make sure you're implementing all the things that your body needs specifically. So I'm going to put a wait list in the comments for that. So just in case you're like, ooh, I want to learn more, I want a sneak peek, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes on that, right there in the comments is the wait list for the 12-week challenge, as well as the waitlist for the menopause book, so you get updated as soon as it's released. Yay! Super, super exciting. I also have a podcast, The Female Health Solution, and YouTube channel, which is just Dr. Beth Westy. You can subscribe to both to stay updated on all the latest and greatest things coming out. Now, I'm going to talk about reverse dieting, really getting your body the right nutrients. Side note, there was just another company that recently got sued for like millions of dollars that said it was like all clean products that was found to have heavy metals, lead, and cobalt, I think was another one in there. No, what was the other one? Lead and aluminum in their supplements. Very popular brand that was also marketed as a very clean, natural brand. Somebody independently third-party tested their stuff and found out that they had a lot of things. I'll post that in my stories so you can see that story. Right? So you got to really think about what you're putting in your body, when what you're doing with your nutrition and diet. And that's kind of the, I want to say, dangerous thing nowadays, is that there's a lot of things to follow. There's a lot of information out there. It's almost information overwhelm. And that's why I have this program. That's why I do this stuff, because I want women to be able to have information that is solid information, that's real information, that's trusted, that is, regular stuff, and starting with stuff that's actually going to help you get a better result first. Not stuff that's crazy, not stuff that's way out there, and not something that's a fad that's actually going to damage your metabolism or system down the road. This is all solid, real stuff that is, good for you to start off with. Now, a reverse diet. You may not have heard of this, and this may sound fun, like, what? I'm just going to reverse diet? Okay, does that mean eating whatever I want? State Fair is coming up. Might just start it there. No. This is a really important process for a lot of women to go through because of how hard we've been on our bodies for so long. So doing a reverse diet is something that can be really powerful for your system in terms of getting your body's metabolism revved, getting your metabolism back working again. How this works and why we need to go through and do a reverse diet sometimes is really making sure that our systems are doing what it's supposed to do. So if you're a gal that has been on any crash diets, fad diets, restricted calories, starved yourself, right? Done things like, I'm only going to eat celery with peanut butter for dinner for a week, and I'm going to use that as my weight loss tactic. I'm only going to eat a bowl of cereal for dinner. That's going to be my weight loss tactic. I'm going to not eat breakfast. I'm going to not eat dinner. I'm going to cut down the amount of food that I'm eating and not make sure that the rest of the time I'm eating, I'm actually fueling my system, right? It's just about eating less. If you have done that and you do that on a repeated cycle, what happens is it overall slows down your metabolism. So I'm going to draw out what happens for women and how women can, slowly but essentially gain weight over a period of time of, say, 5 years, and then be completely frustrated because after 5 years of this, they're like, I can't get it off. I can't get this weight off. What is happening? And it is because when you crash diet, you actually slow down your metabolism. So that is the thing that I'm going to demonstrate here. I want to do this in a different color over here, so you like this is a little bit different. No, I'm going to do it like this. I just changed my mind because I want to talk about reverse dieting in a minute and how important this is for your body and metabolism. But why we need it is really important. Why we need this and why it works. The hardest thing about it is actually doing a reverse diet for women. It's actually eating that much, because here's how we typically go. And again, I'm making up these numbers, but this is just so it's easy to follow along, right? Say you're starting off at 150 pounds and you want to lose 10 pounds, right? And you're like, oh, I'm 150. Okay, I can drop 10 pounds. I am right here. I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to take off, 8 pounds. So this is -8. And now you're at 142 right here. And you're like, okay, my goal was 140, but I'm pretty close. Okay, but because you did this crash diet really quickly, and then you kind of got off of it and you slowly gained it back. Okay. And then over the course of about a few months, all of a sudden you gain it back and then some. And now you're at this point where you're like, not only are you 150, but you are 155, we'll say. Gaining an extra 5 pounds on top of that. Okay. Now women on average go on 4 different diets a year. So imagine this happening 4 times. This is how you can gain, right? Going down and then up, down and then up. So at the end of the year here, instead of being 150 pounds, you're going to be 170 pounds and be completely frustrated because you've done 4 diets this year. I think this is 3, but you know what I mean? Like if this was 4 diets for the year, you gain 5 pounds, you lose, then gain, lose, then gain, lose, then gain. Overall, you're gaining a total of 5 pounds each time you do this. And then now you're 170 pounds, right? And this can happen over the course of, 3 years, right? But all of a sudden you're like, I am 20 pounds heavier than I was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is for you, right? What the heck? But you keep trying this because that's what worked the first time, right? It worked the first time. So you keep trying this, up and down thing, but you actually don't end up going anywhere. Nothing happens from there on out. You're like, I am stuck. I am stagnant. I can't do anything else. And you're like, I'm eating 1,200 calories a day. Why isn't this working? What do I do? Go down to 800 and really starve yourself? No. You actually have to start fueling your body and fueling your system and reverse that trolley up. Just back everything up and get it to where your body can start working again. This compiled over years of time can really do damage. There are women that I talk to that they've done crash dieting for, 40 years. And this is what we're taught. This is what was okay to do, So no wonder why your system has such a hard time getting a result in 2 weeks from doing 2 weeks of a diet. And you're like, oh, this isn't working. It doesn't mean it's not working, right? It may not be long enough for your system because it's trashed right now. And the other thing to think about is that when you're doing a diet, it shouldn't be just about, oh, you're cutting calories and cutting these things out, right? It should be about, oh, how do I feel? Do I have more energy? Are my workouts going really well? Do I sleep really well? Do I feel better? If so, then yes, then you're doing the right things. That is all part of what reverse dieting is. Reverse dieting is refueling your body. Some people say refeeding, right? I like to say it as refueling the body, because you're really getting the metabolism going. Now, what's really interesting is that you start really, I include protein pacing in this, getting all those dense nutrients in, eating 4 to 5 times a day, and eating sometimes even twice as many calories as you were eating at this point over here. But you know what the kicker is? You're not going to gain weight. And women are so baffled by this. I have had women call me on the phone and say, listen, I can't do this. I can't eat this coconut oil. I just can't. It feels so wrong to do this. There's way too many calories in here and I don't know that I can handle it. And it's not about how you feel with it. It's that mental component of, this is how I know how to lose weight. And I'm like, but it's not working, right? This isn't working for your body anymore. In the female body, that just causes us more stress, which causes us to store more fat. That's how our systems respond to more stress. More fat storage. Yay! But as long as we know that and realize that, you can either prevent that from happening, avoid it completely, right? Or find out that, okay, this sounds like where I am. I need to follow a different pattern to get my metabolism repaired and to be working better. Awesome. So that's part of what reverse dieting can do. Now, again, this is not about just eating like cheese puffs and cupcakes and, you know, whatever, Twinkies all day long. That's not what reverse dieting is. It is really about fueling your body, getting the nutrients, all that stuff, maintaining that lean muscle, and teaching your metabolism to start working again. So refueling that body. Again, a lot of times it is, you know, an increased calorie, but it's also that increased nutrient. The result then is a big increase in your metabolism. Other things are going to change too. Oftentimes cravings change, hunger satisfaction changes, your taste buds can change, right? Because you're really shifting and changing your body from the inside out, which is a cool thing if you think about it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat differently and that's going to change how my taste buds are. Yeah, that's a really good sign that whatever it is that you're doing is having this big systemic effect on you. So keep that in mind. Doing this over time is just going to slow down your metabolism. And again, maybe in your 20s, you were like, yeah, I could totally do this in my 20s. Awesome. Maybe it works some in your 30s. Okay. But for gals that are in their 40s, they're like, no, that stuff doesn't work anymore. And then what are you left with, right? No direction, nowhere to go. So that's where doing a reverse diet, you have to start here, right? A lot of times people will talk about, I'm doing Whole30, I'm doing paleo, I'm doing, you know, whatever it is, right? This diet plan, and it's so great. Okay, cool. But oftentimes the female body is not even ready to jump into something like that to get a good result with it because our systems are so depleted. This is nutrient depletion here. Stress response, fat storage from nutrient depletion. So to get out of that, you got to do this reverse diet. You got to go through it. That changes the game on everything. And you feel good, right? You feel good. Again, this is not just necessarily, like I say, this doesn't mean that you're going to lose weight right away. Most of the time when I take women through this, their weight stays about the same. Maybe they gain a couple of pounds, maybe they lose a couple of pounds, but it's not anything major. It's only once we get through this process and their metabolism is repaired, which is a different timing for everybody, I will say that. So for some women, it's like a month. They can do this for a month and they're all of a sudden their system just bing, switches on. For some women, it can take 6 months. So think about that. Think about being patient with your body for as long as 6 months and really waiting to go through that to make sure your metabolism's working. It's a long time and it can get really frustrating because it can feel like nothing's happening, right? Because you're like, I'm still the same weight. I'm like, yeah, but you're eating way more and you feel so much better and you've got all this energy. So keep going. It's gonna happen. You just gotta be patient with your system to let it happen. Because when it does, holy cow, all systems are go. That's the really cool thing that happens. Tammy, I want on the wait list. Yes, Tammy. Well, the wait list is right there in the comments. So you guys can scroll in the comments, get on that wait list for the next 12-week challenge. This is a big game changer for women. And again, so many things out there. And I don't want to bash anything and say that it's bad. It's not bad. It's just a lot of times women are stuck at this place here, right? Stuck eating like nothing, but still having gained that weight. They're not losing it, frustrated. And then they jump to something else, something else, something else. But they don't do any repair. You're jumping to this, you know, fancy dietary thing that's, again, somehow restrictive. You're jumping to the supplement thing that, again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it's like, oh, it's fat burning. It's like, you know what? I don't care how many supplements you take that say they're fat burning. If you haven't done any of this, the female body is so smart, not going to let it burn fat. It's just not. So you'll be like, oh, that didn't work. Again, it's not that those things don't work. Your system has to be ready for it. And then you'll be like, oh, I see. Oh, okay, this is different. Here we go. Yes. So again, I'm going through all this stuff on the wait list. So again, click that link and get on the wait list for the next 12-week challenge. If you are struggling with something specifically, don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a message, send me an email. I'm more than happy to be a resource for you. And, you know, there is some great information that is on that wait list just to help you get started, right? It's like a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what it is like to do that 12-week challenge so you can actually sort of get started a little early and start that process right now. So I'm really excited to talk about this. If you guys have more questions on this, don't hesitate. because this can be a really hard concept to go through because of the amount of food that you have to eat and what you have to do. It feels wrong. If you've done this pattern, this feels really wrong, and it can be tough to go through. So that's what I got for you today. Let me know your questions. If you found this helpful, I would so love and appreciate you sharing this, and sharing this video, sharing this message with women so that they can, share it with others that need this help. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your night. I will see you later.